All right, June 22nd, workout breakdown. It is a chest day. This entire week, I believe this 22nd is a Wednesday. So starting from, I'm pretty positive Monday. Don't fully quote me, but this entire week, I've kind of been ramping up the aerobic side, not necessarily like the endurance side, but kind of like the transitional stuff. And you guys are going to see a lot of aerobic work into lifts. Now, I've been trying to weigh not only, pairing the aerobic side and the transition into some of the heavier stuff. So you still get to maintain your strength and maybe even sometimes work on it, which again is hard to do on a very consistent basis. But this workout's great for that, and I wanted to go over it because by the end of workouts like these, you've accomplished so much. So if you just do some math on the numbers, how much you're rowing, how many squats you're going to get in, then obviously just the sets of chest, and if it's played out correctly and approached correctly, executed well, you are checking many boxes in terms of modalities. Not just checking boxes by doing in a very efficient manner. You are checking those boxes in a way that I perceive to be very effective in each box check. So you guys are going to see the 5 lifts at the bottom. You're just going to go in that order. Before each lift, so before number 1, you're going to do a 500 meter row. So you do a 500 meter row. And you could choose to make that as challenging or as easy as you'd like. That being said, you can also take as much time after the row as you like. So you guys, again, get to manipulate what you're doing. Remember, the whole point of Core 4 is to give you guys some autonomy. And most all workouts, maybe not all the time, but a lot of the times you can kind of manipulate how things are going to go. So if you want to work on some level of explosion, you want to work on maybe 500 meter splits, you can do that. If you just want to kind of casually go through and transition into these lifts, you can also do that. And those are 2 totally different approaches. But 500 meter row, you then go into your 5 chest press at 70%. So 70% is actually quite light for 5 reps. There are probably lots of people that can go up and over the 70%. So again, small details here. The plus sign does matter depending on how comfortable you are with this type of load. You're going to do 4 or 5 sets of this. Your time of recovery is going to vary. So you can choose, and by vary, I mean you get to pick. So it's not technically supposed to vary, but you can pick what you're doing here. So the 5 chest press, if you're going 75, 80% or heavier, like you definitely want to be closer to 2 minutes or take the entire 2 minutes. You can argue that 2 minutes is even low for that. I don't know that I'd suggest anybody does like 1 minute for 5 chest press, even if you're at 70%. So just FYI on that one. But once you finish your 4 or 5 sets, in between those sets, you're going to do the 4 goblet sit squats after each set. Kind of missed that part. Small detail. Monthly emphasis, of course, is leg strength. So you're going to do your 5 chest press. Then you put the weights down, obviously. Grab your goblet weight. You'll do a goblet sit squat, whether it's on a plyo box or a bench. Really, it's relative to the individual based off of your height. You want to make sure you're trying to get at least parallel. Ideally, you are slightly below parallel. You know, want to lengthen your glutes and quads as much as possible here. Mainly your glutes here. But keep in mind, goblet split squats are amazing because it gets you to, it's like a reset deadlift. You get to reset at the bottom every single time. You reset your back, you reset your feet. You can engage your trunk every single time. You can make sure that you have the mind-muscle connection between your quads and your glutes. Make sure your weight's not shifted forward too much. There's a lot. Goblet split squats are fantastic in a particular setting. I think it fits very well into what we're trying to achieve here. So, you could also argue, should we be doing these heavy goblet sit squats after this heavy chest press? And the answer is, from the most efficient standpoint, no, but you also probably shouldn't be rowing either. So we're attacking different modalities here. So if we're going to go that route, we might as well just go at full. So 5 chest press, you can go as heavy as you want. You can make the transition from the row into the chest press as quick or as fast or as slow as you want. You're going to do 4 or 5 sets of it. You probably want your time of recovery almost guaranteed pretty much at the 2-minute mark here. And you're going to do your 4 sit squats after each set. Once you finish, you go do another 500 meter row. You'll then go into the 8 to 10 dumbbell chest press with the pause. So the pause is crucial here. And this is where everybody's going to be a little bit different. Everybody should be pausing, but the percentage weight is very individual. Like, depending on how comfortable you are, how technically sound you are, how good you are coming out of that deficit or that complete halt of momentum, how strong your chest and triceps are to come out of that dead rest at the bottom at the chest portion is going to dictate how much weight you can move. So ideally, you would use as much weight as you can for these 8 to 10 reps, maybe as much weight as you can. Aim for 8 reps. That's 100% what I would be doing for sure. And then again, if you are doing that and you are moving 60, 65, 70%, then you're probably, again, closer to that 2-minute time of rest. If you want to stick to kind of the lighter stuff, you're moving a little bit more fluently through these reps, you can actually cut your time of recovery down for sure. Again, doing your goblet sit squats after each set. The fly presses, same concept. I like this in this setting because, again, at this point, you've already done a lot of heavy lifting, most likely. So you're 10 sets or maybe 8 sets into pretty heavy stuff, including the goblet sit squats, which are naturally a heavy movement. And the fly press is going to challenge you in kind of an unstable way in terms of like you're moving the load away from the midpoint of your body. It's forcing your trunk to do a lot of work. Your feet should be firmly planted on the ground, forcing your hips to be stable as well. And it's not necessarily about how much weight you're moving. It's more or less range of motion and control. So I like that in this setting, at this number 3 right here. The TRX chest press, we've talked a lot about this in class, at least when I know when I'm coaching here and we have a TRX movement. It's just a fantastic way to kind of work your way to failure, get that extra volume at the end, and work your way to muscular failure. So I love this right here. You can adjust your angle as you go. Again, everybody, I would imagine, for the most part, is starting really aggressive on these and kind of adjusting their feet away from the wall as they continue to fatigue through these 8 to 10 reps with each passing set. Obviously, it's going to get harder and harder with the goblet sit squats, again, to follow each set. And then the core choice, of course, is there because at this point, we just don't need to do any more chest. So anyways, I like this workout a lot. Like I said, you're gonna achieve a ton in this workout in 45 or 50 minutes. Like if you add up all this at the end, the amount of boxes again that you can check, and again, like I said, in an effective manner, is going to be very high.